All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't have a stream yesterday, but did drop a premiere of Jules Kounde. Looks like you guys have enjoyed that a lot. It's literally just crossed 2.1k views just a moment ago. So thank you so much for showing such support to that particular video. If you haven't seen it, literally just go to my page and that video is there, where I was speaking with Amir. Unfortunately, Amir's not here. He's busy. Generally, he would be here for this particular show, but he was busy today, so he's not there. But you'll be able to catch Amir on yesterday's premiere that we had, along with Advaid. So we talked about Jules Kounde a lot in terms of stats and why Thomas Tuchel would have fancied him. So go check that out if you've missed that out. But we are back today, brand new day. We are here with another stream. My boy Kishan is here. Kishan, how you doing?
I'm all good, bro. Like I said, feeling a bit rough. Got some liquid in me. I'm all good, and I'm looking forward to our game against Arsenal at 3 as well. So that's gonna be. It feels like the first proper game we're having. So that'll be good as well.
Yeah, man. I'm really looking forward to that game. There's. Obviously, it's called the what? Charity or something?
Yeah, it's a mental health charity. So good initiative going as well.
100%. And, there was some of the guys have been DMing me and saying, Miz, hey, watching the match and whatnot. And I'm like, it's in the Chelsea app. I didn't know you had to actually pay for it. So I was like, it's in the Chelsea app. And they're like, no, you got to pay like £8 for it. I'm like, oh, wow, I had no idea. And then people starting DMing me with the links of different streams and whatnot. And for a moment, I was like contemplating, okay, yeah, fine, I'll stream it. It's, £8, that's a lot of money. And then I thought, do you know what? I spend so much crap. I spend on so much crap. Why not pay for this? Yeah, honestly speaking, Kishan, $8, and I saw Chelsea $4, like £4 will be gone to charity and whatnot. And I was like, I might as well just pay for it. I'm not really pushing anyone. It's totally up to you. But I was just sort of thinking that, I'm just going to pay for it. So I ended up paying for it. So I'm going to watch it properly from the Chelsea app, and part of the money is going to go to the charity. So that's fantastic news. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, as always, joining. We're going to start the show very, very soon with so many things to talk about, and obviously catching up with Kishan on these sort of things. We already have 40 people live after 3 minutes. Please smash the like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. I can't stress that enough. And you guys are here on a regular basis. Honestly, I see you guys almost every day now, and the same people are here, and you guys love it. Smash that like button. Get the likes up to over 40 straight away. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. We're literally flying, to be honest. Not that long ago, we were 6,000 subscribers. Now we're looking at 6,300. We're on the way to 7,000. We are hot on the rails at the moment. So if you're here for the first time, subscribe and check out Kishan's socials in the description. His Twitter, I've literally put the link there. So no more handle business, no more Miz being lazy anymore. Literally, his link is there. All you got to do is watch this, click on the link, and follow Kishan. That's pretty much what it is all about. All right, Kishan, let's get this ball rolling. First up, let's talk about Erling Haaland. It was so funny, Kishan, because I wasn't really planning to speak about Erling Haaland. That's how everyone tells me to say it, Haaland. And you said, when I gave you the list late yesterday, that XYZ players we're going to talk about, and you're like, what about Haaland? And I'm like, somehow we're going to end up talking about him anyway. It's very inevitable. So, coincidentally, there's a little bit of an update from Fabrizio Romano, which will be nice to sort of assess, I suppose. So let's bring that up. I'm going to bring up the screen now so we can have a look at what Fabrizio is talking about. So this is Simon Phillips, ladies and gentlemen, saying no chance to sign Robert Lewandowski. Inter define Romelu Lukaku as non-transferable and untouchable. Another very complicated affair. That's why the dream remains Erling Haaland at Fabrizio Romano. And then he goes on to say, this is where it gets a bit tricky. But from Dortmund, it is clear there is no offer on the table, not even an official approach. It will take madness to sell Haaland. Not even 150 million euros would be accepted. Borussia will not wait until 25th, 30th August, despite having already bought Donyell Malen. Now, Kishan, I tweeted earlier today that, and then I want to hear what you have to say about this whole sort of situation that's been transpiring. We're in 1st of August now, so times are getting very, very tough at the moment because we're slowly coming up to the start of the new season. But I said this is how I'm thinking logically, Kishan, all right? And as I said, I want to hear what you have to say about this. We've got Giroud, who's gone. We've got Tammy Abraham, who's not favoured, and most likely he will go as well. These are facts, right? We can beat around the bush, but these are facts. We've got Armando Broja, who's supposedly not going to take part in today's game because he's already taken part in the development team yesterday. So that kind of starts giving me an indication that what's your future then? I mean, if you're not playing against Arsenal, I find it very difficult how you're going to then play against Spurs. Like, who's going to then play in the development squad? Timo Werner, like Kai Havertz. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, well, we want to give Kai Havertz and Timo Werner the minutes. That's why Broja played in the development. Okay, let's use that logic for a second. So is Broja coming back against Spurs and then Timo and Kai going to play in the development squad? It just doesn't work that way. It kind of makes me think that maybe this is now a loan slowly materializing for Broja. So when I think about it in that manner, that really leaves us no option but to buy a striker. We don't have a striker. I mean, we can go on with Werner and Havertz, but I don't think that would be wise to go and do that in a new season. So then you look at the options. Lukaku, I feel like he's categorically said he's not leaving, right? You've got Harry Kane. That's impossible, literally impossible. That just leaves us Erling Haaland. I don't understand who else is the suspect here. What other suspects are available? Because if it's anyone else, then it's not worth it, Kishan. It really isn't worth it. We should not even think about getting anyone. Might as well keep Tammy Abraham and continue on, and then maybe next season we'll see what happens. What's your take on all of this?
The Tammy Abraham thing with him, I think he's gone regardless, because you got to realize that last season with all of the players we've got, it's pretty much the same players we've got now, and Tammy wasn't playing now that much back then either. The one thing is that Giroud's left, so maybe the thing is Tammy gets his game time, Tammy gets his spot on the bench as well, because Giroud was always available from the bench, and I think Tammy, in terms of he would missed out on like the FA Cup final. This is just being on the bench as well. FA Cup and Champions League final. So I think in terms of that, so Tammy is still like, even if we keep him, he's not going to get that much game time. I don't think Tuchel trusts in him to do the job. So with Haaland, I saw your tweet about it as well, in terms of us guys lowering Tammy's price and all those other factors only means that stuff's happening behind the scene. And I do think there's a lot going on behind the scene, because a transfer like this, they're not going to tell us the full details. Like it is a saga, but we don't know that much about it. We're feeding off small updates and stuff. And last week when we were on here and we had a CFC news page update, we were buzzing, but now it's properly in the balance as well. So
what did we say last week, Kishan? That we'll see what happens by the time this week comes.
And a week has happened, and what has happened? Literally nothing.
Zero.
Literally nothing. We're still going back on that update. Like, oh, is it true? Is it not? So it's very, very hard to to gauge what's going to happen. But I'm trying to be positive with it. Like when you see all these ITKs come out with news and stuff, it's hard to try and believe, but we believe it because we want to hear it now as well. So it's hard, but at the same time, with the other striker targets, he said, I don't think Kane goes to like City. I don't think they come in for him. So when we're talking about it being impossible, one thing that'd be quite interesting to see is if City didn't come in for Kane.
I love this. Kishan giving a different angle here. I love this.
What if we were the only ones to come in for him? Yeah, Harry Kane, and it's like he chooses whether he stays at Tottenham or he goes to Chelsea. It'd be quite interesting.
Bro, why don't we give them Tammy Abraham?
Yeah.
Throw in Batshuayi as well for good measures. Like I saw someone say Batshuayi. I can't believe this lad is still in our football club. I mean, he needs to go. Why don't we get Harry Kane, throw in some money, put Tammy, give Batshuayi, Nuno, do your thing. Do your madness.
The reason is, Miss, Nuno's got eyes. He knows. He's going to be giving us Tammy, taking Kane from us.
Imagine he looks at Daniel Levy and is like, I got eyes. I've been watching.
Accepting this? Yeah. So the thing with that is, like, I think in terms of this summer, I think Kane's going to be priced out of a move. He wants to go heavy. Like, he properly wants to go, obviously. That's not the problem on that side. But I think he's just going to be priced out because they're going to ask way too much for him. It'd be interesting to see if we were the only ones that came in for him. Then he'd have a decision to make. Then, like, the whole thing of, I get to stay in London and get to be at an ambitious club, etc. That'd be good to see. But for now, we have to say it is unrealistic. And you look around the whole Lukaku. I'm not sure if I believe we've put in a bid for Lukaku. We've been talking and that kind of stuff.
Could be false.
It's a bit, because I have this view. The only thing with Lukaku is when we talk about him, it's like when he's at Inter, he's getting all the love from fans and he feeds off that massively. We're going in with all this Haaland stuff. He could see the news as well.
Imagine he tells you as well, I can see what's going on.
He's got eyes as well. He has got eyes. So on top of that, like when he sees we're going in for Haaland heavily and we don't get him, then it goes to him. I doubt that'd be the kind of thing he'd be looking for, because it's like we're so set on Haaland, and then he comes in. I'd take him all day though. Like, he'd be brilliant for us, but it's just at this point, 130 is a lot of money as well. But the thing is,
are you sort of heading towards?
We might actually get.
Go on, bro.
With Lukaku, we might actually get, in terms of playing for us, we might actually get him for more years than Haaland would stay as. I think that's the thing as well. Yeah.
But are you sort of heading towards this? I'm getting a vibe from you that you're kind of thinking we may not get anyone. Is that sort of the vibe that you're getting?
I think we'll get someone regardless. I think there will be someone there. It's just I don't want it to be
one of the big dogs, or like a mini chihuahua.
It might be a chihuahua, to be honest. That's the thing. And I don't want to be underwhelmed. So it's like we're literally, when we won the Champions League, anyone we thought, we can attract anyone and everyone will want to come here. And then to come out of this window with like a second tier, third tier striker is just so like underwhelming for us.
Bro, honestly, this is like, Sadat, thank you so much for the comment. He's saying, Miz, are we getting Danny Ings? Here's the thing. Look, as some of you might have seen what I tweeted, as Kishan said, he saw what I tweeted. I said that all sort of direction points towards Erling Haaland here. Like, nothing else seems to make sense to me at this stage because of what I've just said, the picture that I've sort of put, placed.
There's one other thing. I saw this tweet and it was like, the whole world knows we're after Haaland. And if Roman and Marina don't get it, the whole world will know that. Like, you went after this geezer and you couldn't
and you failed. You failed.
And I think that reputation kind of side to it is actually huge for someone like Roman.
100%, man. And when Roman's apparently been touted to say or give out that vibe that, Haaland is the player that he wants, he's in absolute admiration for this particular player, right? So for me, as I said, all direction points towards him, because when I logically think about any other stuff, it don't make sense to me, or they're booked, they can't come in, like your Lukaku's and your Kanes and whatnot. As Kishan had said, Lukaku's a kind of player, he sees, he's so available on social media. He sees what the Chelsea fan base is doing. He's not going to be like, I don't want to be second dibs here. Like, either you love me completely and I'll make it the effort. I don't want to be some sort of a side chick here. Do you know what I mean? That's not me. So, and he's already like, doing training and this and that, tagging Inter Milan. So it kind of makes me think like this man's happy to be where he is. He's loved over there. You might as well stay. Now, if nothing happens, this particular comment, Danny Ings, here's my issue with the whole Danny Ings thing. Let me explain this to you. And once again, I'll see what Kishan has to say. And live chat, I want to see what you guys have to say about this. Someone like Danny Ings comes in, and you may think that that's a stopgap. Okay, how many years contract are you actually giving this geezer? All right, you're going to say 2. I don't think he's going to accept a 2-year contract. So let's say you're going to give him 3. Okay.
And on our
3
side,
years.
it'd be stupid to give 2, because if you financially pay like 30 million for him, you're not going to give him 2 years, because after 2 years, he can literally walk away.
Exactly. So 3 years. Okay. Let's say minimum 3 years for Danny Ings.
I think he'd get 4. I think 4. He wouldn't look past.
Okay. 4, but I'm just going conservative. 3. I'm going conservative 3, but perhaps 4. All right. So let's 3. Then you've got Timo Werner, Kai Havertz for this season with Danny Ings. Okay, so this season maybe stopgap. What do you do next season? Are you going to go after someone like Haaland? Okay, let's just say, argument's sake, that you do go for someone like Haaland next season. Then what? Now you've got Danny Ings, Erling Haaland, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. Already, if Haaland comes in this season, someone's going to get hurt. Someone's minutes is getting reduced. So then you're bringing in Danny Ings. Then what does Danny Ings going to do in that whole scenario? Because all of these 3 players are going to rotate and play every now and then. And don't forget, there are other forwards in the inside forwards or in the wings. Your Ziyech, Kalamantanado, Pulisic, Mason Mount, they're all going to play in that game as well. So literally there's only one spot for the striker role. So Kai Havertz and Timo Werner are potentially just going to be rotating. Mostly, I think Kai will play with Haaland and Mason Mount, perhaps, the 3 up front. That's my sort of ideology. But see where I'm going with this argument? You bring someone like Danny Ings, and once again, he becomes your Batshuayi kind of player that barely gets any sort of minutes, or will maybe just get the Carabao or the FA Cups. But then it's just one salary as well, just unnecessary wages that we're throwing in that particular. Because my ideology is that if we can't get anyone this season, Kishan, forget it. Work on something next season. Don't just bring in like a Danny Ings just for this season when you're going to give him at least minimum 3 years contract. Do you know what I'm saying? But what's your thoughts about this, man?
With this whole stopgap argument, I don't think it's as easy when you say, oh, you take Ings for a year, because like, what if he comes in that year and he does really well? Like, if he bags like 20 goals, 25 for us in a season, you're not going to get rid of him because you're going to be so happy with the guy. So like, that would be a good argument on our side. Like, if he came in and did well, we'd have no problems. But it's just like a lot of people.
But you know what, Kishan? Even though you're saying that there's no problems, you'd still want Chelsea to be after Haaland next season, though, right? Because literally, there should be a war for him.
I would, but I don't think we get him. Like, that's why we need to go for him this season and go really hard if we want him this season. Because next season, I don't think we get him at all. I think because Raiola and his dad have had talks with Real Madrid and stuff. I think Real is, even when you hear about his links with us, I think in the future it's quite clear he wants to end up at Real. So if he sticks out one more season at Dortmund, he can do that very easily. If not, if he comes to us, I think down the line he's gonna leave for Real Madrid as well. So if with him, that's the kind of issue. But somewhat with a stopgap kind of thing, Ings, I still think he'd be really good for us and he'd be a good option. But I do get you, like, where you're like, you need an elite striker and you want someone who's quite young.
And you need
Ings
to
is like
think long. You need to think
long
long.
term, yeah, for
Like
sure.
people are thinking just one season, unless we're thinking about getting Danny Ings for 12 months. Like then I get it, but I don't think he's
At the same
accepting a
time,
12-month
like
contract.
when it's someone like Ings, you don't think it's not like a Van Persie to United kind of signing where you buy him for that
Yeah,
season and you think you fire them to the title kind of thing.
yeah.
He probably does. He does improve us because I look at what we got right now in a striker position. I think he would improve us, but again, like if you're trying to chase someone like City, who look like they're getting Jack Grealish by the way as well. So
But I'm pretty
it's
sure City's going to get Grealish and Kane. I'm pretty sure they're going to ball out because they will
I
sell players. They will sell
I'm not
players
too
like
sure on
Bernardo
Kane.
Silva and all that.
I'm not too sure on Kane, but Grealish I think will happen because I think, like I was saying, I think Kane will just get priced out. But it's a weird one because then we Ings is an option, but then there's so many players in that tier as well. There's a lad from Fiorentina as well that
Yeah,
gets we get
Vlahovic. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But he's another one of those like I don't
We need
know, bro.
before this window, bro. We said we need one of the three big dogs. It's either Haaland,
Yeah,
Lukaku, or Kane, and those three are the ones that would like elevate us to levels
yeah,
that we haven't seen for quite a few years. And like you said, those Kane is a bit different, but the other two are like monsters, physical monsters.
yeah.
And we've seen previously those are the kind of strikers that work for us. Ings is not that easy. So it's just
I mean, look, no disrespect to Ings, bro. Like he's done his thing. He's done his thing in the Premier League. He's done his thing with Southampton. No disrespect, but that's not a long-term solution, man. And it ain't a good like. We need to think. People think about this stopgap. It's not. You look at the implications for whatever amount of contract he is that we're going to give him. It just don't make sense to me. Some people are saying we won't get Haaland next season. Teams will offer crazy wages. And Kishan, you kind of mentioned this. I really want to touch
yeah.
on this as well because this is interesting. Guys, we've got literally over 160 people live. Smash the like button. Get the likes up to well over 100. As I said, can't stress enough how much this helps out the channel. You guys have always supported this channel. So get those likes up. It's just going to bring more crowd into this whole mix. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Check out Kishan's socials in the description, literally a link, and you can follow him. I mean, Kishan, you've mentioned about this, right? Really nice comment from Andrew that we won't get Haaland next season. Teams will offer crazy wages. Let's quickly touch on this before we go on to the next particular player. I tend to think, why can't we compete, Kishan? What, are we some sort of a minnow these days in Europe? Like we literally have Roman. We run our club in a way that pretty much no other clubs are run in that manner, where we've got an owner that can just inject money into the club big time. Big time. Like this guy's actually made money in the pandemic. Like there's not many businesses out there that have done good. I mean, there are businesses that have done good, but he's one of them that has really, really done good in the pandemic. So he's got money to burn. So I'm not really sure whether we get priced out. Like I'm pretty sure that if it doesn't happen this season, and the reason probably being is probably Chelsea's thinking, you know what, Dortmund, we're just going to give you half the money next season. Roman's already promised that Mr. What's his name? Raiola and Alfie Haaland will just get the money directly from Roman. And then it's really up to the wages. So whatever wage that others are offering left, I don't really think how Real and Barca can offer big wages because they're financially in a mud. Do you know what I mean? Bayern Munich are in a bit of a mud as well. Like pandemic has hit them hard. Unless they can all recoup the money in the next 12 months, which I highly doubt. The few teams that worry me is PSG because they've got another Arab owner that can ball out and perhaps get someone like Erling Haaland, or perhaps Man City because these two are the ones that could have the money. Maybe Man United comes into the mix, but I think we should be able to price them out. So I feel like, Kishan, we should still be in the mix. Like, I don't think we should just lose out unless Holland actually has a predestinated sort of plan in his head, that this is the particular club that I want to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yes and no. It's like the amount of options becomes too big for him. Then I think realistically probably be about 5 or 6 clubs really properly in for him. And I think it's a decision to make, because from what you hear in the media, it seems quite clear that in the future he'll probably play for Real Madrid, and he really wants that in the future. So it's hard to, because then I don't see Real Madrid.
Well, then we go for Mbappe.
Then we go for Mbappe. He'll be a free agent next season as well.
He'll be a free agent because apparently Real's going for Mbappe, right?
Yeah, they are. So that'll be the next batch of Galacticos. Him and Mbappe. But I think if it's Haaland, it has to be this season. Similar to what that comment said, it's not so much that we'll get priced out or we're not like a big team or whatever. It's just the other options become very. When you listen to where he wants to go and stuff, I can't see past like someone like Real Madrid. I don't think he goes Bayern or anywhere. I think it's literally Real Madrid, not even Barcelona. I think he's quite set on Real Madrid. Like you said, we should still be in that conversation even next season. But I just want to know, like, this season, because if we don't sign a top striker this season, I think we're kind of saying, all right, we're not going to win the league, and it's that simple, pretty much.
And if City goes out and gets Grealish and Kane,
and it's
see you later.
Miz, that's that one thing. But when I look at someone like Crystal Palace, and when we got the fixtures out, we saw Palace as the first game. We're like, yeah, that'll be okay. But you look at, like, relative to where we've stayed at a similar level because we've not bought anyone in. You look at how good some of these teams are getting, someone like Palace and stuff. It's going to be hard even on the first day. And that was the fixture we were looking at thinking, yeah, we should crush them. They've signed so many good players. So their level is getting higher. And it seems like we're standing still. And with letting someone like Giroud go, we've probably got worse. Only thing I'd say on that could improve us is like Havertz and Werner. I expect them to be a lot better this season. But at the same time, I still think we need someone coming in, because Werner, like we were speaking a few weeks ago, I don't expect him to be much different in terms of how he's playing. I expect him to have slightly better output, but I still think he's gonna be Werner, if you know what I mean. And Havertz, I think Havertz will do well, but at the same time, if we need to win something, I can't see Havertz banging 20. Even 15 is going to be hard for Havertz as a false nine.
Bro, you minimum need 20. If you want to challenge for the league, you minimum need 20, and then you need your midfielders to hit 10, like your other forwards. And
yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you look at our team, if we let go of, we'll get to this, but we let someone like Zouma go, that we lose like 5 goals a season from
I can't believe that.
Literally nodding in corners, Miz. So it's like we lose some goals there. And like our DMs, you know, it's like if they score 1 every 3 years is something, apart from the penalty spot. So that's going to be tough. It's literally those sort of players in those the wingers, and we basically got like 3 players on the pitch who need to score for us at all times, and it's going to be hard because everyone needs to chip in a lot more this season. 58 goals last season is nowhere near good enough. 58.
Nah, that's not good enough. Not good enough at all. But the thing is, XG was looking good. So, you know, it makes me think all we need is a striker to bang in the goals and the goals will come in. Louvre is saying Chelsea without a top striker won't challenge for title. We've kind of said that as well. I like this commentary. Tim Smith. You know, he's one of my really, really good Leeds United fans that tune in. He's saying, Haaland, that's all you talk about. Sorry, lads, but true. Do you know what? It is kind of true, but we are going to change the tune right now. We've talked about Haaland literally for half an hour. Now we're going to talk about Jules Kounde. So Tim Smith, hang around. There are other players that we're going to talk about. I know you're a Leeds fan, but if you're interested about Chelsea news, you can hang around. You know, you guys have taken, you know, Lewis bait from us, so the least you can do is probably hang around. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Kishan, Jules Kounde, I'm going to bring up the particular news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's change the tune over here now. Let's bring this up. So, Kishan, this is the latest from Jules Kounde's side of things. This particular account, ElDesmarque, must be like a big Spanish sort of outlet. I don't know. But yeah, nonetheless, they're saying Jules Kounde didn't even kit up yesterday for Sevilla's match versus Roma. This is because Sevilla do not wish to risk injury ahead of his Chelsea transfer move. Chelsea are ready to pay hard cash to sign him with or without a player swap. So, Kishan, this seems to me, this is happening. Like, whether it's a player, no player, Chelsea's been interested on this particular player for a while, apparently, as per the Athletic article. And this link has actually been going on for past probably 2-3 months ago. We've sort of known that there was some sort of talks about Jules Kounde. Interesting thing is that apparently Marcos Alonso is not taking part in today's game. And apparently his father has suggested for Marcos to go back to Spain. So then there's few people trying to put the two together. Is Alonso now into the mix of, player swaps and whatnot? Obviously, Zouma, that particular situation has been out because Zouma doesn't fancy a move to Spain. He's quite comfortable in London. And we're going to talk about Zouma right after this as well. West Ham lining up a bid, apparently, which I feel is another disrespectful bid from West Ham. They go around putting such high caliber prices on Declan Rice, but our players, European champions, they're just worth pennies. That's what they're worth, you know what I mean? And Declan Rice has literally won nothing. He's worth a lot of money. But anyway, we'll talk about that a bit later on. Kishan, I don't know if you've heard this. So apparently, I don't know, there's news that Alonso is not part of today's squad. Don't really know what has happened there. But someone was on Instagram or even on Twitter putting out that Alonso's father was saying that he'd like his son to come back to Spain. So, I mean, do you see something happening here? Would Sevilla appreciate a player like Alonso?
I think they definitely appreciate a player like Alonso. Alonso is like it feels like he's held in high regard around the world. Like Italy, Spain, especially Italy and Spain. Yeah, like he seems like the kind of player that those teams can really do with. And even when he's not linked to someone like Sevilla, it's always like Atletico Madrid and Inter and stuff like that. So his level, that he moved to a decent club. And with Sevilla, the only thing is when talking about the Kounde deal, how much do you think would they take off for Alonso? This is a hard question, like compared to someone like Zouma.
First of all, I think Kounde's release clause is 80 million euros. So So if we're not giving any player 80 million euros, I think that's something around 65 million pounds or something.
Initially, it was like Zouma plus like 30 odd million, and when that was happening, Nizar from Goal, he said, like, ideally they'd get him in, and because it's like a swap deal plus 30, you'd still have enough money to do 2 more deals. Whereas I think if we buy the guy outright with cash, even if we sell someone like Zouma, I can't see us getting 2 more players in then after that.
Yeah, man.
So it's going to be really tough. But in terms of the actual signing, it's weird because initially when the talks came out, like how advanced it was from absolutely nowhere. It's Fabrizio saying they were like really advanced. So you thought it's going to happen in like the next 24, 48 hours. And then it kind of got colder. And now I read like loads of things that kind of like reassure you that say, oh no, don't worry, we're definitely getting him. But it kind of really reminds me of the Hakimi situation where you got a lot of people.
I knew you were going to say that.
You have so many people saying, oh, don't worry, he'll come. And this, the only thing with Kounde,
that deal has scarred us, bro. That deal has scarred us, man. Scarred us hard.
With Kounde, it don't seem like there's anyone in for him apart from us right now, like properly, that he'd want to go to as well. So that's the one different thing about it. But in terms of the people reassuring us, I'm still thinking, like, I read the same stuff that, the deal's very close because he's agreed personal terms with Chelsea. And that was never a problem. Fabrizio said this like days ago that
he was buzzing. Kounde is buzzing.
Yeah, he's buzzing. He literally used the word buzzing. He's agreed terms. And it's just like, yeah, we know that. But I think the final hurdle to find like a price and a player in that swap deal is going to be like, I think it's going to take quite long. But
you know what, Kishan? he's not participating in any of the preseason matches for them. 2 preseason matches so far, and he's been unused in the bench, which makes me think
scared he'll get injured, right? So for the transfer, the thing is, they've probably got one eye on it, thinking, all right, he will go to Chelsea. But from on our side, it's just finding the right deal to get him seems like it's a lot harder than what people are saying, to be honest. Because initially we thought Zouma, but the complications of like a swap deal is like you need the player to want to go to someone like Sevilla when he's got interest from London clubs, and you got to see that his family is settled here, etc. And the 3 clubs he gets linked to, Spurs, Crystal Palace, and West Ham, all London clubs.
Yep.
Thing with that, hopefully, is it drives his price up a bit, but if not, I think I really can't see him going to Sevilla. Can you?
I thought, honestly speaking, I thought that would have been a nice move for him because Sevilla is going to be in the Champions League. They're a strong La Liga team, so they're going to be in the mix of challenging for, I don't know, title, but at least putting some effort. Palace, West Ham, Spurs are in Conference League. Like, are you kidding me, my man? But it looks like it's more than just...
It's the family kind of side.
It's the family kind of thing. And I get it. They're human beings, so you got to do what you got to do. Let's talk about the Zouma thing. Just wrapping up the Kounde thing, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's happening. I think he's coming to Chelsea. Chelsea will find a price range somewhere. He's already declined Spurs and Arsenal. So they were the other 2 clubs that were interested. I think there was some interest from Man United as well. Man United ended up getting Varane. There's some interest from Real Madrid as well for Jules Kounde. But I think he totally fancies the Chelsea move. As we've said, personal terms from Fabrizio Romano, that was like done in like seconds. Like this guy was literally like, please, Chelsea, come and take me straight away. I'm ready. And he's not playing in the preseason. So it is going to happen. Hopefully this time next week, the boys Amir and Kishan will be celebrating this. Amir's not here today, ladies and gentlemen. He's just a bit busy. I know a few people are asking where Amir is, but yeah, he'll be back for next week. So hopefully we can celebrate that particular new transfer. But yeah, I'm hoping over the next week that gets done. Sevilla not using him is a big indication that they're ready to let go of him. It's just the details of how much is a player coming in. If so, then what's the discount? And with the players, always the swap with the player, the cash and play. I feel like even Marina doesn't want that. Chelsea doesn't really want that. And Sevilla doesn't really want that because the whole thing gets discounted. Like Sevilla could say, well, we only value Zouma 20 million euros, Alonso 15 million, the rest cash. And the Marina be like, well, no, I can literally sell this guy for more somewhere else. So I'll give you the cash.
The weird thing reportedly is when Spurs bid for him, apparently they offered 30 million euros and Davinson Sanchez, and it got accepted. And then we're out here, Zouma is miles better than Davinson Sanchez, and they don't want to do business. It's such a weird one.
That's the thing, because they want hard cash from us. Like they don't want to do any of this stuff with us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Davinson Sanchez and 30 million euros.
That's not a good deal.
That's a bad deal.
But then again, it's like, do you believe that was accepted? I don't know. But apparently, it was like Kounde did reject Spurs. Apparently, so that doesn't surprise me. But
that conversation, there was no personal terms agreed. That conversation ended very, very quick. I mean, maybe Sevilla might have agreed on it, but Kounde said, "What? I ain't going around in Conference League playing XYZ teams that I've not even heard of existed, and all of a sudden I'm going to play against these sort of teams." So that's that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty hopeful Kounde is going to happen. Let's talk a little bit about Zouma now, Kishan. Could Zouma, as we've already said, wants to stay in London. Few clubs interested in him. Spurs plan B, which we touched on last week. I can't believe it. Such disrespect. How can that be your plan B? That should be your plan A. But regardless, probably Zouma doesn't want to go there. West Ham is the other interest that's come out. £20 million, man. That's what they're saying. West Ham are thinking about £20 million. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, 242 people of you live. How are they saying Declan Rice is worth 100 million if we want to get him? But Kurt Zouma, 20 million, who's won Premier League, who's won Champions League. I mean, that, like, I'm not saying put Kurt Zouma in Declan Rice's bracket to be like 80, 70 million. No, have some respect, man. Zuma's a top defender. Like, this is the thing, Kishan, and I want to really talk about this. A lot of people are starting to slander Zouma like as if he's a rubbish defender. And it kind of reminds me of the trap I fell into when I wasn't appreciating Jorginho as much under Frank Lampard. And I remember, Kishan, you weren't also totally appreciating him under Frank Lampard.
Yeah, for sure.
But under Thomas Tuchel, we saw exactly what he can do. And obviously we saw under Sarri what he can do. Maybe as a fan, we need to sometimes realize style does matter. The style of football one plays, a manager plays, it matters on particular skill sets of a footballer. You're an elite footballer if you can play every style, but not everyone can play every style, right? Zouma in a back four, in a counter-attacking footballing style, recovery pace, aerial ability, robust, the lot. Like, he's legit a supreme defender in a back four, counter-attacking football. In a possession-based football, three at the back as well, that ain't cutting it for him. Like, it's just not cutting it, right?
You don't know which one of the three, where to even put him.
Exactly. So, for West Ham to have the audacity to put a 20 million bid, I feel like saying, you know what? Like, 20, okay, fine. Take Zouma. We're interested with Declan Rice. We're going to get, how about you take Zouma and we give you 20 million for Declan Rice? So would you accept that? Like, I mean, talk to me about this, bro.
Yeah, like, thing is, 20 million, I can't believe it, because he's literally a French international, and he's done a lot.
World Cup champion, bro.
With that kind of stuff, though, it's not even getting lost with him, because a lot of people can be champions without playing and stuff. But this guy, in terms of when he actually plays Premier League games, etc., he got 5 goals for us. He literally got 5 goals for us as well.
But so you're going to get headed goals from him.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Literally headed goals, and I think under Lampard, when you look at his aerial numbers, I think they were the best in the whole Europe.
Yeah.
So he wins everything in the air, and like, you're very right, like, a certain style of football definitely suits him more than possession-based football. But actually, 20 million is such a weird one, because when we were talking about selling Zouma, I remember you saying it'd be around 40, and I said around 30 would be like the go-to price for him. And I hope they don't accept anywhere near 20, and they keep pushing. That's
daylight
what I'm hoping.
Robbery, bro. Daylight robbery.
Yeah, these 3 teams, because you look at Miz, we saw Mark Gurley, and that was around 20 million, and he didn't even have, like, he didn't play. I know he's young, he's a young defender and stuff, but Zuma's 26 as well. He's coming into his prime. To get someone like him for 20 million, and the kind of people who he's kept out of the French national squad, they're no bums as well, because it's like Laporte and players like that. So he's done well for himself, and £20 million, I don't know how that sum has even come around, to be fair.
And now apparently they're after Tammy Abraham as well, and we've apparently put more price down, because Tammy was touted to be up for 40 million, but now he's 30. All of a sudden, 10 million slashed.
See, this is the thing, Miz, with Tammy as well. Like, I thought if we let him go, we have to get 40, because in this market, you see how much goal scorers are worth, and like, he will literally, the thing is, when he leaves us, he will score a lot of goals.
He'll bang in goals.
I don't deny this. Yeah, 100%. He's not like he's not the right choice for us to be first choice at our club. But that doesn't mean he can't go somewhere else and bang in absolute, like, he could easily be a 20 goal a season striker if he takes penalties at the club he goes to as well. So for like 30 million.
And whatever happened to English tax, bro? Whatever happened to English tax? It seems like it doesn't count for us. But when we buy some English players, then Declan Rice is worth 100 million.
I think that the reason behind that is because all of these players we kind of want to get rid of, Miz. So if it was Tammy banging in goals for us left, right, and centre, we wouldn't sell the guy. Or if we thought he'd be our first choice guy, we wouldn't sell him. But because clubs know that we don't really fancy these players, that's why they try and lowball us. But at the same time, we kind of got to trust in Marina, and she's not going to let someone like Zouma go for 20 odd million. So we can be quite confident on that.
Yeah, man. And look, as much as I've always said it on this channel, I'm not the biggest advocate of getting someone like Declan Rice. I know, Kishan, you don't mind someone like Declan Rice. Kind of is the profile that you're looking for as the fourth midfielder, not necessarily fourth choice, but like a fourth midfielder in the whole mix of things. The profile. But I must say, like, you know, if there's Tammy and there's Zouma, make a deal happen with Declan Rice then. Like, get on board and see if you can get that sort of rolling as well. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, man. As I said, not the biggest advocate of this, but Declan Rice wants this bad. He wants this bad. He wants to come to Chelsea. Chelsea's apparently top target for midfield is Declan Rice. Thomas Tuchel's top target is Declan Rice. And, you know, Declan Rice has rejected 2 contract extension from West Ham. So West Ham, if you're not letting him go this season and you're thinking about next season, you're probably going to sell him for even less next season. So, you know, if that's the case, that they're going to lowball us with Zouma and Tammy Abraham with discounted prices, we might as well get an offer for Declan Rice as well, like a discount from that particular side of things to sweeten the whole situation. All right, let's talk about the next few particular players, which is going to be very interesting. Ian Maatsen and Conor Gallagher. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we've still got over 240 live, guys, with literally 20 likes away from 100 likes. Let's get to that first milestone. Let's get to 100 likes, and then we try and aim for 150 with the live chat here. Honestly, guys, as I said, I cannot stress enough how much the likes are valued on this particular channel, and any channel, to be honest. It just exposes the videos to far more audience out there. And if you guys are here, and I know you guys are always here, please smash the like button if you're enjoying it. And if you're here for the first time as well, subscribe. We're literally like a train. We're like a rocket, actually, to be honest, on the way to 7,000 subscribers now. So subscribe and check out Kishan's socials in the description. The link is there. You just basically follow the link and just go and follow Kishan. All right, Kishan. Next up, Ian Maatsen. We heard the news earlier this week. Ian Maatsen has gone to Coventry. And I really want to know your thoughts around this. I don't mind the loan. I think it's fine. He's 19. I just checked his age the other day. He's still 19. Yeah. Like, this kid is young. Like, I saw him under Frank Lampard in the first season. I think it must have been an FA Cup or maybe a Carabao Cup.
I think it was
Grimsby, yeah. It was Carabao. So he looked fairly good, to be honest. I like the look of him, but he's young. I don't really know how much of a good loan spell he had last season. Don't even know where he went. I think he went to Charlton. Maybe, I'm not really sure. It was Charlton. Yeah. So not many people have been talking about it. So maybe it wasn't an exciting loan spell for him. He's going to Coventry. I believe they're a championship team. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kishan.
They are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I truly think if you look at all the other positions in our squad, striker, midfield, centre backs, right backs, it's pretty stacked, and I don't really know when the next academy player is going to make, an entrance in any of those particular positions. However, left back, because it's only Chilwell, because let's be honest, Alonso and Emerson are two that are looking to probably move on. And down the track, you probably have a spot there behind Chilwell, and then even more down the track, you could probably succeed taking over someone like Chilwell. Chilwell is young as well, but you could perhaps rotate with him down the track. I think, Kishan, this boy better take his loan seriously, because there's a legitimate opportunity here to be the next academy player, I believe, to actually make to this Chelsea squad. What's your thoughts?
I think you're right there, because the loan that he had at Charlton, I think the fans were quite impressed with him. I know we don't hear too much about it, but the reason being, I think it was in League One, so I think it's quite hard for us to follow what's going on in that league.
Yeah.
Did he move in January, or was he there for the whole season? I can't quite remember.
I think it was whole season. Oh, I can't remember either.
Yeah, I can't
But
remember
live
either.
chat, let us know. Live chat, let us know. Was it a whole season
But
or half a season?
regardless, though, like when watching this kid in the academy, you could tell he's one of the good ones, if you get what I mean. And then it's like coming in, like you said, our left back, the deputies for our left back, they all seem like they're going to leave, or they're touted to leave very soon.
They should
someone like
be
Maatsen's
gone
got
by
a
next
massive talent.
season. Like end of next season, they should both be gone, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. And if Maatsen does well at Coventry, initially when I saw the loan for Coventry, I didn't even know that they were in the Championship. So I thought, if you're in League One and you're going back to League One, it's not a great look. But I'm happy that he's going up level. So in terms of Coventry, that'll be a good loan in the Championship. And regardless if the team does well or not, I think he's one of those marauding left backs that will shine regardless. And he's got a huge chance in the future, in the next 2-3 years, to be that deputy that you're speaking about.
Yeah, I have to agree, man. I'm interested. Honestly, there's a lot of players that we're going to follow this season. You got Billy Gilmore in Norwich. You got Conor Gallagher, who we're going to talk about as well in Crystal Palace. Also want to see Marguihi's progress in Crystal Palace as well. Will be very interesting. And yeah, Lewis Bate in Leeds, see where that goes.
Do you know what I mean? Like Colwell in Huddersfield.
In Huddersfield, that's going to be interesting as well. And this is going to be another one. Coventry, as I said, Ian Maatsen has a legitimate opportunity. He really has a legitimate opportunity to make it to the first team if he actually nails the left back loan with Coventry. Because literally, Emerson and Alonso, as Kishan was saying, both of us expect both of them to be gone by the end of next season at least. Maybe one's gone this season and another one gone by the end of next season. And let's be honest, Baba Rahman and all of those guys, we are soon going to see them go as well. Some people are saying Kennedy's going to go too, man. There's talks about him going back to Brazil and whatnot. That's going to happen. And literally, I saw someone actually, a Brazilian outlet, say that maybe Sevilla, another player, where Kennedy gets locked in with that Kounde situation. And I don't know, because Kennedy actually played for Getafe, I think, in Spain. So maybe they know a little bit about him. So let's see what happens.
The fee, though, is the fee. Like, in terms of these players that we're talking about going there, we kind of need someone to push off a significant chunk. And someone like Kennedy, and this is the Alonso point as well, I don't think they take too much off the price tag. Whereas someone like Zouma, you'd expect to take off a massive chunk of it. So I think it has to be someone who's on the periphery of our first team to get, and who's in good age. So Zouma properly fits the bill. I've had some stuff going around that they want Christensen, but no chance.
No way. Christensen is hot property, bro. There's no way he's going anywhere, man. Next big opportunity. Look, I would love Christensen to perhaps play as long as he can at Chelsea. But if he was going, I want him to rip it apart. Hopefully, he gets that Premier League title. I'm pretty sure does he have one? No, I don't think he has a Premier League title under his belt, because under Antonio Conte, he wasn't there. Or maybe he was. Maybe he was in the squad.
I think he came. Was he not there?
Because I know it was David Luiz.
Season, I remember he made a mistake against Barcelona in the second season. In the first season, I think he was still on loan at Mönchengladbach.
Was he?
Because he did a 2-season loan, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a 2-season loan. And you're right. Maybe he came in the second season for Conte, which absolutely 100%. Fell apart.
He made a mistake against Barcelona, and I was like,
I remember that one. Yeah.
Everyone's talking about how great he is. I'm like, no, he's not. He's come into... I always thought that with Christensen, it was like, in terms of academy and stuff, he was always the next big thing. Like when you look at Terry speak about him and stuff back in the day as well. And I just never really saw it with him until this season.
No, you're right. Thomas Tuchel absolutely woke him up, and he looks physically a bit different as well, like a bit of bulk, I don't know, or just training up and whatnot. He looks very good. Some of the recent pictures.
I saw 2 pics of him, and I was trying to see the change. I was like, I swear he looks the same to me. Physically, looks the same.
So some people are trying to match the jawline and whatnot. It's looking a lot more sharper. I don't know. Maybe some people are reading too much into it. But it is what it is. He's going nowhere, man. I think if he is going somewhere down the track, better be a contract extension, and it better be like a blockbuster fee, man, like a record-breaking fee if someone does want to get Christensen down the track. Ever. I mean, you can never rule anything out, but nonetheless, let's talk about Conor Gallagher. Guys, we literally still have over 220 people live. Smash the like button. We're literally now getting very, very close to 150 likes, 112 at the moment. So let's get those likes up to 150. That's the target. Let's get there together. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. 7,000 just around the corner. Seriously, if you guys are liking it so much. Kishan, Conor Gallagher. I have to say something. I've been holding this back on my channel about Conor Gallagher. He's been getting a lot of hate unnecessarily off the back of that last game against Bournemouth. A lot of people are coming out and saying, he wasn't that good, not really Chelsea material. Not everyone's going to make it. I believe that. I'm not saying not every academy player is going to make it, but if you're going to judge all on that particular game, that is very, very harsh. And the other factor is, first half, Conor Gallagher was actually good. Second half, Tuchel literally put him as a lone DM with 2 attacking eights with Ross Barkley and Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah.
That's not where Conor Gallagher plays. Like, that's one thing I realized, that Conor Gallagher is not a lone DM. He's literally an 8 who just runs. He's got immense engine. He's got good pressing, counter pressing. He can win the ball up front. The one thing I will say, Kishan, about Conor Gallagher that I would like to see him for Palace this season, if you do ever have an ambition to coming back and maybe make the Chelsea team, you're banging goals. Because we literally have your profile elsewhere. Like, Maatsen does what you do, and he puts goals in and he assists. So Kante does what you do, and in an unbelievable factor. You can't do what Jorginho does, and you really can't do what Kovacic does. So what you could possibly do is go out and ball out in Crystal Palace and bang in goals, put in assists, and then all of a sudden, that's something that our midfield literally doesn't have. Do you know what I mean? That's Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic, they literally don't have that. And that's when you can start putting your name in that mix that maybe he's worth having.
This is what I can bring,
Yeah. What's your thoughts about this whole loan move to Palace?
I was part of the second group of people. So when watching that Bournemouth game, I thought he looked a bit out of place in terms of, I was like, I think a loan move would do you quite well. What's encouraging from our side is when you listen to Fabrizio on Twitter, he was saying Vieira wanted him in as like priority. So I think he's watched this guy, and someone like Patrick Vieira, if you're watching Conor Gallagher and you think you can shape him up to be good in the future, I think that's very encouraging, because I think Conor does have that kind of reputation where he's that sort of like rough diamond that you kind of need to mold in the right way. But I think technique wise and stuff, like you're saying, he has the technique to score goals as well. When you look, I know he didn't score too many for West Brom, but when you look at the 2, I think he got 2. One of them was like a really good finish. So he's got it in his locker to get into the positions and stuff. And I'm just hoping at a better club, so at Palace, with what they've got around him, he really shines. From watching that game against Bournemouth, the lone DM thing didn't work. You saw him when he was the last player. Do you remember when the ball got like he was playing around?
He literally gave a goal away. He literally gave a goal away.
He gave a goal away, but luckily for us, Brooks didn't finish it. So he missed. And with that, it's just like, when you look at Conor, he's had like a good reputation, and I think Palace will literally be perfect for him, because he's best mates with Mark Gurhey, and they've got all this young talent coming together. He'll do really well. And like you said, if he adds goals, he can have that kind of thing where he's like, all right, Gilmore's not going to give you goals as well. So it's like Gilmore, Jorginho, Cover, and who's the last one? Kante. None of them are going to bring goals. And we've said this as well, like the FA Cup final kind of thing. If you got a player like Tielemans who can literally crack one in from there.
Yeah.
Goals from midfield are actually so important. You know, back in the day, we had abundance.
Frank Lampard,
we had Frank. Even someone like Ballack would get
Essien,
you quite a lot. Essien
Ramirez.
would get a few. Ramirez would get you a few as well. So that's the one part of our midfield, like even going into this season where you think there's an opportunity, and if you can put in some serious numbers, I think if you could get around 5 to 6 league goals, I think
you're in the mix.
You'd be in the mix.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you need some assists on top of that, because you look at someone like Mason Mount for all the game time he had. I think in terms of goals, he underachieved massively last season as well.
Yeah,
and towards the end, he started catching up, because under Tuchel he became something else. But even this season, I'd expect him to get in and around that 10 mark with the amount of game time he gets, because his game time is different. Like,
I think Mason ended up getting what, maybe
I think it was
7
6.
or something.
I think it was
7
because Jorginho was our 7 and he was the top scorer.
Oh, I'm talking about all competition. I think all competition, Mason Mount was about 7 or 8 or something like that.
I think 8, 8, because he got 2 in the Champions League game.
Yeah, and then assists as well. I think similar sort of numbers of assists. I can only picture these increasing this season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it really has to, because like we said, we look around the team, and with someone like Zouma going, you lose out on like 5 odd league goals from there as well every season. So it's gonna be tough to get scoring without a real striker. But all these guys and their potential, you'd expect Havertz to not underperform as much. You'd expect Werner to do better than his 6 league goals. Hopefully, we could get a lot more than 58 next season.
Yeah, man, 100%. If we ever want to be in the mix of really going after the title, we need more goals. There's just no ifs and buts about it. And when you look at our competition, you know, the likes of City, who are going to go out there and will spend money and will get, you know, will bolster their squad. They've lost Aguero. They're going to replace that. I'm pretty certain, I know, Kishan, you're a bit skeptical about this. I'm pretty certain Grealish is probably in the bag already. There's all sorts of rumors that's happening. I'm pretty certain Kane. You know what's going to happen? Here's a quick little ideology that I have. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Let's hear it. Go on.
I think there's already rumors that Kane doesn't want to play straight away because their first game's against City. So he's prolonging that whole situation a little bit. Is saying that, you know, they're on holidays and whatnot, and it's going to take a bit of time. He's not ready for City. He's not ready. I'm not ready for City. So that for me is like, well, my man, that's your first Premier League game. Why aren't you ready for that? Like, you better
get your time as well, because it's like there's a lot of time between when the Euros finish and that City game. I understand, like, if he's not coming back yet, like with 3 weeks or whatever, but before that game, there's quite a lot of time, isn't there? There's still 2 weeks on top of now.
But we got our boys, the Italian boys, Jorginho and Emerson, coming back this coming week. Like they're coming back this week. So it's I think literally they get 3 weeks of proper holidays after, like, once the thing is over, you get 3 weeks off. I think someone was saying that generally you get 4 weeks off, but you get 3. Anyway, Kane should be ready by the time the City game happens. So that's one thing. He's obviously going to have the conversation. He's not happy that he's going to play Conference League. Like, the caliber of player he is should be playing in the Champions League. So he's not happy about this whole Conference League situation. And he knows there's massive interest from Man City. So he will sit down, I feel like, and tell Daniel Levy that just do this, mate. Like, don't make me sit around, because he's done everything that he could for Spurs. Like, I think this is one player, honestly, Kishan, and I don't know what you think about this. He will literally get to the point where he will just say, you know what? I don't care. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm not, like, you want me to jump on? I'll probably just pay 50% of my effort, because I've done everything that I've had to do for Spurs. Now let me go. Like, literally just let me go.
I think he's too professional for that. So I do think he will come back. But I don't know. I've never really thought about it until you just said that Harry Kane would be playing in the Conference League. That's actually so weird to think
It's
about.
mad, bro. It's
the
mad.
caliber of player. And like, even if you win it, no one's gonna bat an eyelid. You're like, you should have won it. And let's be real, they probably won't win it as well because
Probably won't win it. He probably thinks that we're gonna somehow screw this up.
Because you got Jose Mourinho and Roma in there as well, haven't you? So you're probably gonna go out for it. To be fair, like he needs to go somewhere, but I think just in terms of price, he'll be priced out because they're not going to accept near 100. So I think I can't see someone paying 150 for him. 28-year-old now as well, isn't he? So it's going to be hard to get that fee.
100%. Let's see what happens, man. Well, the bottom line is we better do something about our striker situation and our team situation because
if City are not paying up, then we should come into the equation if we can't get Erling.
Maybe that should be the other. You know what? Very good shout, Kishan. Because if City's not paying up, maybe we should look at Harry Kane if we can't get Erling Haaland. But we'll see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, go on, Kishan. You gonna say something?
There were some reports that in terms of like us going for Kane that they'd entertain taking some of our players, and like you said, they've been linked to Zouma quite a bit, and I think Tammy is someone like they would consider for sure.
Literally, the Athletic article has mentioned this. Like, the Athletic has said that don't rule out Kane, and Matt Law has said it many a times. Don't rule out Kane, because Thomas Tuchel apparently his first choice is Kane. Like that's his first choice. Because he thinks that he's a magical striker.
I think it was on the London is Blue podcast, and it was Matt Law talking about Kane. And it literally sounded like us, and he was like, Tuchel don't care about the rivalry.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a shit. It's just get him in if you can get him in.
This is exactly what I'm referring to, Matt Law. I played the clip here to the guys. I took that out and played on this particular channel a few streams back. Literally, Thomas Tuchel said, I don't care about... I gave rat's ass about this particular rivalry. I like him. Get him into our team.
Yeah.
And, if he wants to win, you're going to win with Chelsea. So, if City are stalling, we should do something about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps us up. A few people are saying, how can they watch the match? It's in the Chelsea Fifth Stand app. You do need to pay £7.98. Andrew Jules just commented over there. I'm just going to put that up. But yeah, I don't have a watch along, but I know Matisse has a watch along. So if you can't be watching that match, check out Matisse's channel. He's got the watch along, and that's as good as it probably gets, I suppose. If you can't have it, obviously there's streams as well. If you can get yourself a stream, plenty of streams out there. But yeah, it costs about £8 if you really want to watch it. I'll definitely have a review straight after the game. I'll have Ishan here with the review. You guys enjoy Ishan when he comes around and talks about transfer rumors and whatnot with me. So he'll be here. Myself will be here. That will be the next show straight after the match is over, ladies and gentlemen. 211 people still live. Make sure you guys are here straight after the game is over. We're going to do a review. It's going to have, hopefully it's going to be quite entertaining. Hopefully we've absolutely paced Arsenal. I'm sick and tired of.
We always lose.
I'm sick and tired of losing to these jokers. Honestly, they're a joker.
The thing is, we're gonna put out like a second string team, and their preseason thing is a lot of their players. They're good players. The Aubameyang, the Pepes, the Lackers. They're all fresh and firing, aren't they? So I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this one.
Nah, bro. But I'm sick and tired, bro. I don't want to lose to these guys again, bro. It's enough. Like, they've done the double on us with the European champions, man. Like, we should have some shame. Like, we can't let them win anymore. I feel like we need to pace them. And then in the Premier League, 6-0. 6-0, seriously. 6-0.
Hopefully.
That's what I want.
Miss for that game, we have Erling Haaland going at Ben White, pushing him left, right, and centre, slapping one.
Ben White to be absolutely annihilated, turned inside out. Gabriel Magalhaes will not know what day it is, and we can just ball out up front as well and absolutely pace them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we still have 180 people live. please smash the like button. We're literally 16 likes away from 150 likes, which we really, really good target. Obviously, would have loved 200, but let's get to 150 likes. That'll be excellent to get there. And if you've enjoyed it as well, and here for the first time, subscribe. Check out Kishan's socials in the description. And as I said, make sure you're here straight after the match is over. We will have a stream for the review. And also, if you want to see a Jules Kounde special, that dropped yesterday, which has done really, really well, in terms of views. So go ahead, check that out if you've missed that. We talked a lot about Jules Kounde. That was a video that we released yesterday. So check that out. Until next time, everyone, take care. Have a very good day. And wherever you are watching the match, enjoy it. And I'll see you guys very soon. See ya.